Hey guys, Dion here with Your Guitar Academy. Welcome to the Joe Bonamassa player study. So in this course, I'm going to take you through lots of stuff that Joe has in his trick bag, including those mad cascading fast licks that he likes to do, loads of different blues rock classic vocabulary, the use of pentatonic scales, also a bit of modal playing and some triads. So by the end of it, you're going to be much more confident and well-versed with Joe's style. So in this unit, we're going to be kicking off with a really high energy blues rock solo, classic Bonamassa sound, this one. So we're going to be combining all of that classic blues rock phrasing, all the pentatonic and blues scale stuff, with one of those really searingly fast Bonamassa signature cascading licks that works its way down the neck towards the headstock. In addition to that, we're going to be using all of our classic pentatonic scale shapes to really generate some cool classic blues rock sounds within this solo. So without further ado, grab your guitar and let's get going. If you just joined us, don't forget to head over to the website for all the additional materials, including tab, backing tracks, chord charts, and anything else to go with this course. Also, if you're enjoying the course, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button underneath the video, and let us know in the comments how you're getting on.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So that was the solo that we're going to be learning in this unit. So as you could hear, it's a really kind of upbeat, classic sort of blues rock, sort of hard hitting, quite aggressive sound going on here. And the real key of this solo is that mental, like really fast lick that we had towards the end with the really, signature Joe Bonamassa sound of those cascading pentatonic shapes as he runs down the neck. So we're in the key of E on this one. We're mostly in that box number 1, okay, but we do, messing up my shape 5 there, but we're using these pentatonic shapes kind of up and down the neck. So if you're not familiar with those at the moment, we do have another course that covers those in great detail. So I would definitely suggest having a look at that if you're not too confident with the pentatonic shapes just yet, because they do crop up a lot in this style of music. So as I was saying, we're in the key of E, classic favorite guitar key. I mean, E and A really are our favorites as guitarists. So it kind of gives you all those open strings to mess about with, which is really effective. So let's go in on lick number 1. Okay, so this lick is a really great example of taking just a couple of notes within a pentatonic shape and really just trying to get all the juice out of it. So let me just slow down lick number 1 for you now. It's kind of in 2 parts, but I'm going to talk about their relationship to each other in a second. So we have this. Okay, that was part 1. So if you take a look at this lick, I'm going to break it down for you now. There's really, notes-wise, not a great deal going on here. It's just kind of centered around that little box within shape 1. So that's starting on fret 14 on D, fret 12 on G, and fret 14 on G. So the thing about this is it's so much in the delivery. Okay, so there's those little subtleties with things like, hear that micro bend. Okay, so if I played this lick just straight ahead with no bending or anything like that, it still sounds cool, but it's not anywhere near as interesting. So what I was doing there, I played the same notes, but I also played them all the same attack with the pick. And you see, when you start to introduce, a few more dynamics with your picking, that's really what brings it to life. So just to get into the nitty gritty of exactly what's going on. So I'm starting on fret 14 of D, micro bend on fret 12 of G. Again, that's super important. With that sort of thing, I like to bend downwards there, but you can go upwards if you like. Okay, and then we hit the 14th fret on G twice. So then there's that little subtle pull off, okay, from 14 to 12 on G. So far we have Okay, and then we have, okay, that's a classic little, I guess you kind of call that a little sort of flurry, because when you're playing it fast, kind of just a quick sort of succession of notes. So what's going on there is that I'm bending up on the 14th fret of G, and you can either bend up a semitone to get that blue note, or you can bend up a tone, it's entirely up to you. And then, so that part there, I'm pulling off really, really quickly from fret 14 to 12 on the G. Okay, and then ending up back on fret 14 on the D. So you see, we've literally just stayed within those three notes, but as I said, it's the delivery is what makes this sound so great. In fact, sorry, I just realized I made a slight mistake with that phrase, because it actually ends like this. Then we go back to fret 12 on G, and then back up to 14 on G, and do a little kind of a slow sort of bend. And this sort of thing, you can carry that over to any, you know, it sounds great in any kind of style. It's obviously distinctly bluesy sounding, but it sounds really, really cool in a rock solo or any kind of context, really. Different tempos as well, you know, you can play it slow. That sort of vibe, but obviously in this case, we're playing it quite upbeat. So that was part one of lick number one. So let's talk about part two. So this has the really interesting concept of that sort of repetition thing that is used so commonly in blues. So although the notes aren't exactly the same, the contour of the phrase sounds really, really similar. So I'll play part two for you now. So you hear how that rhythm, but you know, that sort of sound is, we're playing, starting in exactly the same box that we were just in, but this now jumps up to fret number 12 on the E string, okay, the high E string. So you see I've done that micro bend again, and then up to fret 12, okay? So that's our root note there. So it kind of leaps out at you a bit, that note, because it's so much higher than the start of the phrase. Okay, so what we do from there is slide down, okay, down our little kind of off of our blue note on fret 15 of G. Really quick slide down to 14, pull off to 12, and then finish with 2 times on the 14th fret of D. So let me just play that for you in the context of a drum machine now, kind of hear how it works. So it starts on the offbeat, okay, this is a slight pickup. So. And then we have a little break, and then. Okay, so once more, 3, 4, and. And then again, part two. So again, it's about those subtleties. So I'm really conscious of of making sure that there's some, you know, some dynamics with the picking, because as I said, if you play it all the same volume, as I said, the lick still sounds really, really good, but you can add so much expression with some of these pick dynamics and these little subtle bends and things like that. And as I said, that can carry over, and if you just inject some of that stuff in any existing solos that you play, it can really just breathe a new life into it. So that's task number one, get down lick number one, preferably slow it down initially, either with a drum machine or metronome, it's really up to you. But see if you can get to grips with that, and then you can move on to the next lesson. Thanks so much for watching this course. If you're enjoying, please don't forget to let us know in the comments section. If you want to move on to the next section of the course, click here. And if you want to start from the beginning, click here.